Aussie.
G'day viewers, this is one of those videos where I'm worried I might piss off people I don't actually want to piss off. See, normally when I piss people off in a video, it's really deliberate and I find it really humorous when they respond, "How dare you!" I wanted to upset you because I've decided you're a fucking idiot. But this one, this is contentious and people I like might get upset about it, but hard truth time. First contentious thing. The Abbott federal government may have a good environmental policy. You heard that. I'm suggesting not only they might have a good policy, it's about the environment. That might make a few people go off their tree to start with. But here's where it gets really bad. The plan is to kill millions of feral cats. And it's been put about a lot. Oh, Tony Abbott wants to slaughter millions of cats. Tony Abbott hates cats, wants to kill them all. Oh, he's using this as a distraction. And yeah, look, the number millions sounds scary. But the fact is, in Australia, in the rural areas, we have millions, up to tens of millions of feral cats that have just gone completely wild. There's generations of them, and they are responsible for killing hundreds of millions of native animals, birds, frogs, lizards, marsupials, up to the size of a wombat. That is how fucking scary these feral cats are. They can kill wombats, okay? They are out of control. They need to be stopped. Now, there are a couple of potential downsides to this policy, one of which is not killing cats, okay? If you have an emotional attachment to cats, that's fine. What we are talking about is not your fluffy kitty. We are talking about wild, uncontrollable fucking death machines that are destroying, exterminating, and rendering extinct precious native animals, okay? It's black and white. These things have to be stopped any way possible. If you put up any defense to ferals, you are basically saying you want native animals to die. Don't bother saying, oh, it's humans' fault they're out there. Of course it's humans' fucking fault they're out there. But they're out there and have to be dealt with. Talking about what could have been is useless. They're a fucking menace and they have to be stopped. The things that could go wrong, first, they probably won't even make a dent in the population. Second, they're talking about using a specialised poison as part of the program. It's going to be a lot of hunting and shooting and trapping, but they're also talking about a poison. And there is apparently a specialised one that's been developed called Curiosity. Yeah, Curiosity killed the cat. Who came up with that? I'm sure they thought it was clever and everyone else thinks they're weird and creepy. Fellas, I've got a new poison that will just kill cats. That's great. What are we going to call it? 245XYZ? No, I'm going to call it Curiosity. Why are you calling it? Oh, yeah, Curiosity killed the cat. Awesome. Mate, we're worried you might be a psychopath. That's all we're saying. And a few people have pointed out, poison can be very indiscriminate. I think there's not a lot known about this Curiosity poison yet. If they can come up with someone that says, this only affects cats, won't affect the native animals that are meat eaters like quolls or the various birds that are meat eaters spring to mind, then maybe. But that is something that I will wait for the science on before making a pronouncement. But yeah, and let's be honest, this government, what's their chances of screwing up a policy? Based on their track record, better than even. But one thing I will not do is engage in some of the scaremongering that's been going around. And people attacking it just because it's an Abbott government policy. I mean, okay, you've got to actually listen to things before you say if they're bad. And a lot of people have been using the scare tactic saying that, oh, they're going to get domestic cats that are just roaming the streets. Because when you read the articles, the sane articles about it, they mention a program that already exists where you can use a website to report if you think there's a feral cat roaming about. And technically people in cities can and do use that, and the council's meant to come up. But when I first saw that, I thought that doesn't sound right. If you're going to spend all this money going out and killing feral cats, spending time in the cities is a complete waste of resources and also a vote loser. If people think their little moggy's going to get caught up in it, you're going to get crucified at the polls. Whereas out in the country, everyone fucking hates ferals for good reason, and it's a vote winner to kill them. So to me, it didn't make sense. But people go, oh no, the domestic cats are going to get caught up. And quite surprisingly to me, because I went on Twitter and said, this actually seems like a good idea, I got a response from the account from the department that's responsible for this. And they said, thanks for saying it's a good thing. And then I said, people are worried about their domestic cats. And they said, no, 110% not going to be domestic cats. Yeah, I will wait till they release details, because there are no details. Anyone who tells you they know for sure this, that, no, it's just been said in very general terms. They have a target of trying to kill a couple million ferals. They plan to use a combination of hunting, trapping, shooting, and poison, which is the dodgy one. But until the details are actually released, I'll reserve judgment. But because I did put this out on Twitter and Facebook just to gauge reactions, and I got pretty much exactly the reactions I thought. Most people recognise this is a necessity, but some people who really couldn't come at it, honestly, their arguments were absolutely disconnected from reality. There's a common thing, some people who don't want a cull, they say, no, you should catch the ferals, de-sex them, and then release them. Like de-sexing to stop them breeding, sure. But release them so they can go and kill thousands more of the native animals? What the fuck are you thinking? And let's also just think for a second, the catching and de-sexing of millions of ferals. Can you imagine how long that would take? How difficult that would be? And how expensive that would be? That just makes no sense. That has no basis in reality. If you are proposing something that's just completely fucking illogical and stupid, you need to come up with something better. I also had people saying, oh no, people should care for these cats. I'm caring, and this person saying caring for a feral and readjusting. No, I think you're probably caring for a stray, not a feral, because ferals are wild and they will cut you to pieces. Here's the weird thing. Speaking of science, if someone can explain the science to me of why ferals get so big so quickly, I would love to know. Because I'm not joking, they tend to be at least 2 to 3 times bigger than a big house cat. And they're all muscle and they're all evil claws, teeth. I want to kill you. I have seen ferals cornered and it's scary as hell. This is not your fluffy little kitty. This is a big, dangerous death machine that is destroying the environment and has to be stopped. Okay? You have an emotional attachment to cats. I can understand that. I've got 2 cats. This is not about your cat. This is about an absolute menace that has to be stopped. Honestly, for me, the worst thing about this policy is it will probably fail. I think it's going to be very difficult to execute successfully, but we will see. But yeah, when you see people putting about scare campaigns about Tony Abbott wants to kill your cat, millions of cats, honestly, in principle, everything about this policy is good. In practice, maybe they'll screw it up, but it's too soon to know. So me, for one, feral cat cull, as sad as it might sound, the idea that someone's going to kill millions of cats, it's an absolute necessity.